Hey guys, Happy New Year. I know that sounds absolutely insane because it's almost March, but I honestly haven't had an opportunity to sit down and film this video because life has just been all over the place. And 2026 really came in like a wrecking ball. I thought that things were starting to slow down at the end of 2025, but that was false. So where have I been? 2026 has been off to an absolutely insane start. And to be completely honest with you, I've been struggling to get my feet underneath me and get a good balance and trajectory to be able to have some of my leisure time like I normally would, to be able to do some of the things that I'm interested in. Work has been absolutely insane. Coming back from the holidays, it was immediately like one thing after the next in preparation for another potential lapse in appropriations. Of course, we're now on the other side of that, but all of the time leading up to it was honestly very, very stressful for me because of the line of work that I'm in and the type of work that I do on a day-to-day basis. So that kind of pulled most of my attention. Of course, we're on the other side of it now, which is somewhat refreshing, but I will honestly be lying if I said that things are starting to slow down for me in any capacity at work, because if I'm being transparent, it's now time for me to move on to the next thing, which brings me to my next point. What are the next 4 or 5 months going to look like for me? I am going to be moving in the next couple of months, and so although I'm finally out of the hustle and bustle of the lapse in appropriation, I'm now in the hustle and bustle of preparing to move. This is going to be a very, very big move for me and my family, because we are currently in California and we will be moving back to the East Coast, and that is going to be a lot of work. I am fortunate enough to have people and resources around me, so I won't be navigating the move all on my own. However, it is going to be a lot of work for both me and my wife because we both also have very, very busy schedules. Originally, we thought about doing a Diddy move, which, if you're not familiar, is a do-it-yourself move. And it's an opportunity for you to take a little bit of extra time and care in moving your things yourself. But ultimately, I think we're starting to move away from that idea because of the amount of work that we have on the front end. I'm doing a lot to prepare the person that's going to be coming into the seat after me so that when I'm gone, that person is able to start off on the right foot, because there's a lot of work, a lot of projects that I had an opportunity to get started, and unfortunately, some of them will probably outlast me. Unfortunately or unfortunately, some of them are definitely going to outlast me. And so I want to make sure that I'm building some type of continuity for the next person. Bonus points because she's one of my really close friends. But I just want to make sure that she has everything that she needs and that she's set up for success. So a lot of my time is spent not only keeping things afloat, but also trying to build that continuity. So with that in mind, I just don't have the time right now to dedicate to stepping away in preparation for the move. Not a problem, but that just means we're probably going to go the more traditional route in our move and just have the moving company come out, really pack all of our things and really help us get organized. But, and this is a big but, we are trying to prepare as much as we can ahead of time as possible. So we've been like downsizing as much as possible. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to donate to some women's shelters out here, as well as to some of the resources that are available for some of the more junior people across the force. So we've been doing a lot of downsizing. And then we're also doing some packing just so we have things already organized and color-coded by room. And then when the movers actually come out here, they're gonna, of course, kind of repack some of the stuff just so they can assess what we actually have. It's like a security requirement. You know, they can't just move things that they have not seen and then take our word for what's in the boxes. So, but doing as much as we can now to try and make it as easy of a move as possible. We actually started working on this back in December. So it's kind of crazy to think that we're now almost in March and this was exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I knew as soon as January 1st got here, the year was just gonna start flying, and that's exactly what it's been doing. To be completely honest with you, the idea of moving is crazy. I can't even believe that it's time for us to move because it feels like we just got here in some ways. I am excited for the move. I'm excited for something new, but it does feel like we just got to California a couple months ago, and we got out here. We had all of these plans and things that we wanted to do, and we're kind of trying to like cram them all in before we leave now. We had like lists upon lists of places that we wanted to visit. We wanted to hit up a couple of concerts, a couple of like the traditional like touristy things that you do. So we've been able to check some things off of our list, other things not yet. We are getting ready to go to Disneyland, which is one of the things that's been on my list for years, and I honestly think my wife is just humoring me because I don't think this is her type of thing by any means, but I appreciate it, you know. So that's one. There's plenty of like restaurants and malls and touristy attractions that we really want to hit up before we get out of here. But time is ticking. Like now that we are only mere months away from the move, it's kind of like, okay, how do we cram everything that we never got a chance to do into the last few months that we have here and get everything else that we need to get done? That's the $1 million question. If I had to put in words what I'm most excited for in the move, it would just be in general getting back to the East Coast. Right now, whenever I go home, it's a full commitment. I usually try to go home for at least 4 or 5 days because it's going to take me about 8 hours just to fly home. And that's like on average, like I think it's a little bit less if I can get a direct flight, but honestly it's so expensive to get over there. So I'm excited to get back to the East Coast because I'm going to be closer to my family. I feel like I've missed out on so many memories being out here. Like, you know, two of my sisters have had new babies that I've only been able to see once or twice because I live all the way out here. My nephew's graduation from high school, I wasn't able to go because of the timing of it. So I'm really just excited to get back home, get back to the East Coast, to be closer to home. I won't be in the same state as my family, but it'll be a much more reasonable commute. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. On top of that, the cost of living out in California is absolutely insane. And don't get me wrong, I know it's really expensive everywhere because of inflation, but it's expensive out here in California. Like, I'm always saying like, oh, Cali rich is different because these people are making some real money out here. Everything is crazy expensive. And granted, the place that I'm moving to is somewhat expensive, much more expensive than like my hometown, but anything is going to be better than what I'm dealing with right now because it's crazy out here. One of my New Year's resolutions are project pan, and it sounds so intimidating, but as I'm navigating this moving process, I'm realizing how much stuff I've accumulated on top of how much stuff I already had when I moved out here. So I'm really trying to downsize as much as possible. I hate the idea of throwing stuff away when there's nothing wrong with it, but I know there are certain items that I'm probably going to probably have to dispose of, just because I don't want to move to the new place with a bunch of clutter. I really want to be in a really good place, keeping only the things that I need and that I will actually use. If my family was out here, it would be too easy, because I know there are some items that I could probably give to like my mom or my best friend or my sisters, that you wouldn't necessarily give to a stranger because of like hygiene reasons, just like makeup and stuff like that, like gently used makeup and stuff like that. The stuff that I'm preparing to donate to the shelter is more like stuff that's brand new, you know, still in mint condition, both clothes, shoes, makeup, I mean, beauty products, everything. But because I don't have that opportunity, because my family's too far, I am trying to really downsize my makeup collection, keeping only the things that I truly want and truly use. So yeah, I've been trying to do Project Pan since the beginning of this year, to try and actually use the things that are in my collection, even though I really have been itching. Me and my best friend were just talking about this, but I've been itching to spend some money. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I know I don't need it, but man, it is so hard. Perfect example, the new Fenty collection. Have y'all seen the new Fenty beauty collection? I'm not gonna lie, I was like this close to getting that one. I went to the store and everything. Like, I think the only thing that stopped me, which I think was a sign, was that they were sold out of it in store. Other than that, I was walking home with that because I really wanted the lip gloss and the powder puff. But then I got home and I kind of rationalized it a little bit. And I was looking around my collection and I'm like, you really don't need it. Like, you have stuff that you can recreate it. I have things... I have like 1 or 2 items in my collection where I'm like, you can recreate that exact same look with what you already have. So yeah, Project Pan is probably one of the things that's at the top of my New Year's resolutions list. Of course, there's other things on there, but honestly, I can make a whole video just about what's on my New Year's resolution list. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I really wanted to give you the short and skinny on what's going on with me and where I've been and what's to come. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not following me on other social networking platforms, I definitely recommend doing so, since I show up a little bit more in short form content just because of the amount of labor that it takes to film that, if I'm being transparent. I'll have both my TikTok and my Instagram linked in the description box below. Please feel free to let me know if you're interested in any of the products that I've used. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.